starts right now.
Making news this hour, a two-alarm fire erupts at a northeast side business overnight.
New violence in eastern Ukraine is stoking fears of a new war in Europe. I'm Mike Ajachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, how Ukrainian citizens are preparing.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, a cold 36 degrees. We knew that cold front was coming, but still a little surprised walking out that door.
Good morning. It's Friday the 18th. And Steph, I don't know about you, but I sleep like a baby when it's colder like this. The hard part, getting up.
Yes, you're right. It's a little more difficult. I had more pep in my step yesterday because, so it's like, I'm ready to go. And then this morning it's like, I want to stay.
Yeah, well, we can sleep in tomorrow, hopefully.
That's true. And it is Friday.
And it is Friday. So happy Friday to you. Mike joins us now with a look at our temperatures this morning. We knew it was going to be cold this morning, but that front was pretty powerful last night.
It's like you walk outside and it's like, Hochi Maluki, it's cold out there.
Hochi Maluki.
Yes,
that's what we said, right?
Hochi Maluki.
And it's funny. Yes, it was expected. You see it on graphics on paper, if you will. But yeah, you step outside and it's like, whoa, Nelly. So we've got still some clouds hanging around here, though, and it's actually preventing us from getting really even colder this morning. A lot of high clouds. They'll be sticking around here. Still, we have, now this is an erroneous reading over there in Helotes, but we've got freezing temperatures out in portions of the hill country. 33 Bulverde, 36 out there at the airport, and it is still pretty windy. Winds out of the north at about 15-20 miles per hour. We've got some gusts on top of that, still to 30 out there at the airport, and 28 in New Braunfels. So wind chill temperatures, 19 Lost Maples, 21 Bernie Stage, and 25 out there at the airport. And it's not going to warm up all that much. Yes, we will get in the upper 50s today, some veiled sunshine, but still it's going to be chilly out there. We had a whole shopping list of allergens yesterday, molds on the moderate side, and low amounts of everything else. Going to be interesting to see what Mountain Cedar does when the updated count comes out later on this morning, given the fact we had those windy conditions all day yesterday. So I think we dropped down to freezing, but of course we got the wind chills to deal with. That's here in town, of course, and windier this morning. Then winds will ease somewhat. 58 degrees, a lot of veiled sunshine. Those high clouds are going to be hanging around here. A nice day, beautiful tomorrow, but another freeze tomorrow morning. Then we heat up, then we cool down. Get that all sorted out in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. New this morning, San Antonio firefighters called out to a two-alarm fire at a roof and sheet metal business on the city's northeast side. Happened around 9:30 last night, the 12,500 block of Old O'Connor Road. Firefighters arrived to find heavy flames coming from the structure. Wind was a problem for fire crews at first, as it was causing the fire to spread too quickly. Because it happened in a hard-to-reach area, it encased the metal structures. Firefighters had to use ladder trucks to attack the fire from above and eventually put it out. We're told no one was hurt. SAFD says the fire is under investigation and does appear to be suspicious. This morning, President Joe Biden saying he believes the possibility of a Russian invasion of Ukraine is very high, as U.S. intelligence says Russian troops are moving more forces in.
ABC's Ike Ajachi is in Washington with more.
This morning, the United States engaging in last-minute diplomacy in an effort to avert a war between Russia and Ukraine. President Biden will host a closed-door meeting with European allies. This coming after he said the possibility of Russia invading Ukraine is very high. Meanwhile, Russia's foreign minister agreeing to meet with Secretary of State Antony Blinken next week, provided there is no further Russian invasion of Ukraine, according to the State Department. Blinken laying out how an invasion of Ukraine could unfold.
Russian missiles and bombs will drop across Ukraine. Communications will be jammed. Cyber attacks will shut down key Ukrainian institutions. After that, Russian tanks and soldiers will advance on key targets.
We have reason to believe that they are engaged in a false flag operation to have an excuse to go in.
The false flag warning comes after the shelling of a village in eastern Ukraine. Ukrainian authorities say these images show children being led away from a local kindergarten that was hit by Russian-backed separatists. No children were injured. ABC's Terry Moran describing the scene on the ground.
The pace of civil defense preparations here has really intensified, not just inspecting and preparing bomb shelters, but children across Ukraine are now drilling in schools, readying themselves for a potential Russian bombardment, and they are also learning first aid now.
Here at home, experts tell Yahoo News the growing conflict could have a major impact on gas prices.
My guess is that you're going to see $5 gas, and you might get to 6.5 or 7.
And the DOJ is issuing a warning to companies to immediately shore up their cybersecurity defenses ahead of a possible invasion of Ukraine. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
Staying in Washington, the Senate has passed a stopgap bill to avoid a shutdown. Government funding was set to expire today, but now it's extended through March 11th. The House voted last week to approve that measure. It now goes to President Biden's desk to be signed into law. The resolution had been held up in the Senate because of Republican demands and Democratic absences. Meanwhile, lawmakers are also working on a broader full-year spending package, but that's still in negotiations.
Testimony continues in the federal trial of 3 former officers charged with violating the rights of George Floyd. During the testimony, a former Minneapolis police officer was asked about a joke made by Derek Chauvin while he was restraining George Floyd. J. Alexander King told the jury that he and Chauvin had responded to an incident days earlier at a hospital involving a patient who was restrained and yelling that he could not breathe. King called it a brief moment of levity. King, Total, and Thomas Lane are all charged with deprivation of rights under color of law. The 3 have pleaded not guilty to the federal charges.
New video shows smoke billowing out of an abandoned cargo ship full of luxury cars in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It was carrying Porsches and Volkswagens from Germany to Rhode Island. The 656-foot-long ship called Felicity Ace caught fire in the North Atlantic Wednesday. A fire broke out in the cargo hold. The flames forced the 22 crew members to abandon ship, leaving the vessel adrift. According to the Portuguese Navy, the crew was safely picked up and taken to a hotel in the Azores. The ship's owners have arranged for a tow as the vessel continues to burn, but I understand, as of reading about it this morning, that ship is so big they're worried that it's too heavy to safely tow it in certain conditions.
Understandable.
437, about 36 degrees.
And still ahead, we're going to tell you which new cars are best for your budget right now.
And there was a lot of bull riding at the Sock Show Rodeo last night here in San Antonio. We have some highlights coming up.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide this morning. There's a look there at I-10 at Woodlawn. Things are pretty quiet there. And I-35 at St. Mary's looking good.
Outside with live cam. Mid-30s out there, even colder in the outlying areas. It's Friday, though, and that is great news. You're watching GMSA. Welcome back. 4:40 on your Friday morning. Our San Antonio Spurs officially on their all-star break after going 3-2 in the first half of the rodeo road trip, including that win up in OKC. As a result, the Spurs are 23-36, sitting 12th in the Western Conference standings. They must get to number 10 in order to be eligible for the play-in tournament that could give them a chance at the 8th and final playoff spot. Jakob Poeltl had a career game on the boards against the Thunder with 17 that included 6 on the offensive glass to go along with his 20 points. It earned Jakob high praise from Coach Pop, who as a result of the win is now just, I believe, 2 wins away from breaking Don Nelson's record as the winningest coach in NBA history.
He was a star. I told him after the game, "You were a star tonight. We don't win the game without what you did tonight." Without a doubt.
He's a monster down there. I mean, you know what you're going to get every night. I mean, my hat go off to him. He saved us a lot.
It wasn't a perfect game by any means. A little bit back and forth. But most importantly, in the end, we pulled out the win. Like, there was some stretches where we let go a little bit, and it shouldn't happen. But like I said, the win's a win, and we're happy about that.
Now DeJounte Murray headed to Cleveland for the start of NBA All-Star Weekend after he was named as an injury replacement for Draymond Green for his first ever All-Star appearance. It's after setting a new franchise record for triple doubles with 15. Murray will suit up for Team Durant. The rest of the team will have several days until their next game. There's a reason why they call it the Bullfighters at the San Antonio Rodeo. Cody Webster and Chuck Swisher keeping Cowboys safe. Gavin Mike on board Party Train, and there's no party here, just pain if he can't hang on for the full 8. Somehow he manages by hanging on for dear life, and that's when Cody and Chuck move in to distract the bull. Next, this is Blaine Beatty on board Ground Assault. He's off in a very dangerous area against the fence line. Well, here's what you didn't see after he's thrown. Watch the bull's back legs step on him. And he's trapped against the fence line. But Cody and Chuck get the bull out of there. Bubby Gregg was your winner last night aboard Ribbon of Darkness. What a wild name. He rings up an 88 with little assist on his dismount from the bullfighters, all in a day's work at the San Antonio Rodeo over at the AT&T Center. And that's a look at morning sports.
Wow.
I always get to this part of sports, and even though I'm looking at the teleprompter, I can see Steph tensing up and doing this.
Yeah, that video, yes.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Glad he's okay.
Me
Time
too.
now, 4:42 and 36 degrees for now. And if you're on the hunt for a new vehicle, we're going to break down the 2022 list of top-rated cars and trucks to help you narrow down your search.
And next, a Texas A&M assistant basketball coach responding to critics who talked about an outfit she recently wore during a game.
And welcome back. It's 4:45. A Texas A&M University basketball coach is fighting back after criticism of her outfit she wore on the court. ABC's Deborah Roberts has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, boxing out her critics.
What do you say to those who say, but how do you coach in high heels?
When Texas A&M assistant basketball coach Sydney Carter clapped back at critics who talked about her clothing. This outfit on her Twitter account sparked a fierce debate about what's appropriate attire for women in sports.
I had no idea that it was going to take off like this.
The social media comments swift and not all kind, some saying it was unprofessional, others going so far as to say Carter should be fined.
What was your thoughts after you got such reaction to your pink pants?
I was confused just because it was just something that I had always done.
And we'll have much more of our exclusive interview coming up at 7 a.m. and the message Coach Carter wants women in every profession to hear. With your GMA First Look, I'm Deborah Roberts, ABC News.
Buying a new car or truck can be really tough right now, so if you're in the market or will be soon, you want something worth waiting and paying for.
12 on your sides, Marilyn Morris takes a look at the top picks just released by Consumer Reports.
First, there are the 50-plus road tests. Then Consumer Reports factors in reliability data, owner satisfaction, and safety to come up with its top cars, trucks, and SUVs.
All of our top picks come with standard forward collision warning and automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection. These safety features have been proven to save lives. And new for this year, top picks are also required to have standard highway speed automatic emergency braking.
If your budget is less than $25,000, CR says the Nissan Sentra is low cost, high value. The Honda Accord is their definitive family car with impressive gas mileage. Even stingier on the gas, the Toyota Prius. It gets you 52 miles to the gallon.
The Prius and Prius Prime plug-in hybrid are the benchmark among hybrids. In fact, the Prius has been one of our top picks for 19 years.
If you prefer an SUV, Nissan's Rogue Sport is top pick for less than $25,000. Bigger budget SUVs include the three-row Kia Telluride, the Lexus RX, and Toyota's RAV4 Prime plug-in hybrid. If you want to really go green, they say the Ford Mustang Mach-E is a fun drive with SUV versatility. And for truck lovers, the Honda Ridgeline gets their top pick, American-made and a good fit for the commuter, family chauffeur, and weekend warrior.
Availability remains an issue and prices keep on climbing. They're up more than 12% over last year. On the bright side, your trade-in is worth more too. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide this morning. To look there at Highway 281 at Grayson and 281 at Hildebrand. Things are quiet in that location.
Mike, how are we looking this weekend weather-wise?
Nice first half weekend. We'll have more clouds later on. It's going to be cold start again tomorrow morning, and we'll start to warm up a little bit, and then we're going from really cold to really hot and humid to really cold again. So.
We're prepared.
Yeah. Do we have a flow chart?
Yes, we do, as a matter of fact.
Okay, good.
Got all the nice little graphs and all that stuff.
Good.
So, hey, the front moved through right on schedule yesterday. Boy, it was mid-70s around 2, 3 o'clock, and then all of a sudden it was like chilly by 5 o'clock or so, dinner time. And we did have some high clouds and a beautiful view of the moon just a couple of days past full. And we still have some of those high clouds out there right now, but that's not really acting like too much of a blanket. We've got Freezing temperatures down in the 20s. Lost Maples, 36 in town, 40 Stinson. And then it is the wind, and that's making all the difference. 10, 15, 20 mile per hour sustained winds, and then wind gusts still gusting to 30 out there at the airport, 28 in New Braunfels. So wind chill temperatures, teens, 20s throughout most all of the area. And we'll keep enough of a breeze around today to make you sort of notice it. Plus, it's going to be sort of that veiled sunshine because we're going to keep a lot of, I think, high clouds around here today. So not those intense, vivid blue skies, but still we'll see more sunshine. Dew point temperatures, measure moisture in the atmosphere. Of course, at this time yesterday, it was pretty warm and humid. You know, we had temperatures in the 60s. The dew points were up around 60 or so. You could really feel and smell the humidity. And now these numbers have dropped down a good 30, 35, 40 degrees or more when that front moved on through here. And here's the water vapor imagery. It shows the moisture aloft in the atmosphere. And there's this, with this extra moisture there, that's some of those high clouds that are going to be kind of sticking around throughout the day. Here's your flow chart, Mark. We are going to be 60s tomorrow, 65 degrees, a lot of sunshine, and then 80s on Monday, Tuesday with humidity to match. Yeah, it's going to be hot and humid.
Is it bad that this looks like market fluctuations on Wall Street?
Basically the same thing.
Interesting.
Yes. I wish it was gas prices that would drop down there by Wednesday.
Right?
But yeah, and then we get another big front moving on through by the middle part of next week. And so, yeah, we're going to go from cold and windy to hot and humid to cold and probably a little bit on the wet side as well, because we do have some rain chances coming in here next week. And of course, there's the dew points. We're very, very dry right now and stays dry tomorrow. Then here comes the humidity back in here, but it drops back down by the latter part of next week. So just keep all sorts of clothes handy. Flip-flops and winter coats. 50, partly cloudy skies today at noon. Again, a lot of high clouds and a high temperature up to 58 degrees. So we will be 8 to 10 degrees below normal. And then tomorrow, another freeze in the morning up to 65 degrees. So we'll double that. Good looking day tomorrow. More clouds on Sunday and a couple of showers are possible Monday. Look at that. We go from 68 to 82, 85 on Tuesday. But then Wednesday looks like another one of those sort of upside down days. We'll start off in the early morning hours, milder, and then temperatures will drop throughout the day and a couple of showers.
There you go. There's an idea for a family business, Steph. You guys can have a pop-up store in the winter called Flip-Flops and Fleece.
Appropriate for San Antonio area, South Texas.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pop up at malls around town.
I like this idea.
But not fleecy flip-flops.
Not fleecy.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Yeah, if the market demands it. 452, about 35 degrees.
And coming up next, we're going to take a look at some of the new movies and shows hitting theaters and streaming services this weekend.
Several new movies are hitting theaters this weekend. Plus, one of the Super Bowl halftime show performers has a birthday today.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
How do you balance your time between your work and your life? That's one of the central questions of the new Apple TV Plus series Severance, directed by Ben Stiller and starring Adam Scott. The series gets really dark, though Scott tells me he understands if people hear his name and Ben Stiller and think it's a comedy.
It has the feeling of workplace comedy when you start the series, and it kind of dips into that throughout the season as well. But there's something sort of sinister kind of bubbling underneath.
The first 2 episodes of Severance are out today on Apple TV Plus.
Biggest treasure that's never been found.
Out today in theaters, 2 new films opening wide. Uncharted stars Spider-Man's Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg in a prequel story to the popular Uncharted video game series. Also in theaters, Channing Tatum's road trip dog-com Dog.
You're just a demon! I think it's time to start the show.
And streaming, it's the 4th season of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon Prime Video. Speaking of Maisel, it's one of several critically acclaimed shows coming to an end. Amazon announcing that season 5 will be the last.
Thank you and good night!
Netflix's Stranger Things will also end with season 5. Season 4 debuts in May. And FX's Atlanta will end with season 4. Season 3 debuts next month, and season 4 will premiere this fall. And Dr. Dre still riding high off Sunday's Super Bowl halftime show, and today's his birthday. He's 57, while iconic actor John Travolta is 68. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And time now, 4:57 and a cold 35 degrees out there.
Still ahead on GMSA, details on the sentencing phase of a trial involving a former police officer convicted of killing Daunte Wright.
Plus, Meta's social VR platform, Horizon Worlds, continues to attract thousands of new players every month. That's coming up in Tech Bites.
And Steven Cavazos is in the house, and we'll have an update with him. Full traffic coverage coming up over the next 2 hours of GMSA.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making news this hour, the latest on a fire on the northeast side overnight that caused firefighters some problems.
And a former suburban Minneapolis police officer who said she confused her handgun for her taser when she killed a man is sent to be sentenced later today.
Very windy late yesterday as that front moved through this morning. Just downright cold yet again. And the seesaw forecast continues for the foreseeable future. We'll talk to Mike in a moment. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday the 18th.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. That is very appropriate. Seesaw. It's just all over the place.
It really is. And Mike is here with more on what's winding up to be a rather chaotic forecast.
I don't know if these seesaws would be allowed on playgrounds because these things are really going up and down quite a bit as we go into the next few days. Because yesterday it was warm and humid right now, and this morning it is cold and blustery. 35 degrees, northerly wind 12 miles per hour. That's just the sustained winds. We've got some pretty good gusts on top of that. And that bottom number, it was about 60 or so yesterday, the dew point, therefore a lot of humidity. Now the air has really dried out. We still have a few high clouds hanging around here. All we're going to be mustering is 58 for a high temperature later on today, so we'll be almost 10 degrees below normal. The aquifer in yesterday's reading dropped down 1/10 of a foot. Allergens, we just had a whole bunch, just kind of a laundry list out there. Mold's on the moderate side. It's going to be interesting to see what mountain cedar does when the updated count comes out in about a couple of hours with all these windy conditions that we had yesterday and then in the overnight hours. I know some folks here are just kind of all stuffy and everything, so maybe mountain cedar kicked up again. We've got some winds. Speaking about kicking up, boy, it's kicking up everything out there, these windy conditions. Winds northerly about 10, 15 miles per hour. And within the hour now, it has settled down slightly at the airport. I mean, it's still a pretty good gust out there, but it was gusting to 30 miles per hour just last half hour. 28 mile per hour wind gusts at New Braunfels. So, of course, wind chill temperatures, 19 Kerrville, Lost Maples, 27 out there at the airport, 26 in Bulverde. Needless to say, bundle up. Cloudy, breezy this morning, very cold, and a lot of high clouds out there today. We'll see sunshine, kind of veiled sunshine, upper 50s, and then we go into tomorrow. Start off at freezing, then plenty of sunshine, mid-60s. Good looking day tomorrow, and we'll have more clouds then on Sunday. Some milder temperatures, still a chilly start. Next week, basically just a hot, humid start. We're going to be up into the 80s, plenty of humidity, and a couple of showers here and there. Then we have another cold front coming in here. So, yeah, that teeter-totter is really going to just be, or seesaw is really going to be going up and down next week. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Steven Cavazos. Good morning, sir. What's cooking?
Hey, good morning, Mike. I kind of miss that humidity, so looking forward to next week. I know, I'm probably the only one here in the studio that thinks that, but hey, why not? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the roadways at this time at 5:03. It does look pretty quiet. Very dark shot there at 1604, 37 at Houston. Different view of TransGuide right there, but it does look like things are moving, but very quietly for a lot of folks that are getting up with us this morning that are already out there on the roadways. Almost looks like a ghost town in some of these shots at I-10 at Woodlawn. Not really encountering any issues, but be on the lookout because there was a crash over here off 1604 right near Culebra. Now, it wasn't clear exactly which direction this crash was located, but it does look like that is cleared from our map, and we're just going to watch that area closely because we do know yesterday there was a mess of problems out there around 6:30 in the morning due to a crash, and that led to big delays for drivers. Let's give you a bird's eye view of the map as we start off this new morning, and we're getting closer to the weekend. Things look like they're in great shape as we're getting Friday morning going, and if your travels are taking you right here to San Antonio, 25 across the board. If you're coming in from I-10 eastbound Boerne to downtown, 281 southbound traveling from Bulverde, and we're also looking at a 25-minute drive time on 35 southbound if you're coming in from New Braunfels. No delays just yet, but it's still very early, and we'll see how the morning shapes up. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, sir. New this morning, San Antonio Fire Department investigating a fire that happened at a commercial building on the city's northeast side.
Jonathan Cotto joins us live at the scene. Good morning, Jonathan. And we understand there still may be crews out there, so can you give us an update?
Good morning, Stephanie. That's right. The scene is clear now, but those crews were here just moments ago, keeping an eye out for any potential hotspots. And as you can see here behind me, the extent of the damage the fire left behind has been pretty extensive. But this is what we know right now. San Antonio Fire Department responding to this commercial facility located on the 12,500 block of Old Conner Road. That's near Wiener and Lookout Roads. Firefighters tell us they were met with a number of challenges as they attempted to gain control of the fire involving a series of metal buildings that are all connected. Now, one of those challenges, getting water. And that's because the location of the fire is far from the road. Crews calling for a second alarm because of the size of the area they were trying to put out. The fire even presenting a major danger to the surrounding area. Right next door, a house, and right across the street, a neighborhood. And of course, last night's heavy winds were surely no help. But the good news here is firefighters were able to keep that fire from spreading, eventually getting control of the flames. Now, Mark, Stephanie, we've learned San Antonio police are speaking with someone who might have information as to the cause of this fire. San Antonio Fire Department calling it suspicious, but the good news again is this did happen after working hours. Nobody was on site and the fire didn't spread. No injuries were reported. Reporting live from the city's northeast side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. New this morning, 9 people in custody after a human smuggling bust in southwest Bexar County. Sheriff's deputies and federal agencies zeroed in on 3 different sites for the bust. The biggest was at a home in southwest Bexar County near Somerset. The second location not far from the home. And the third, a traffic stop of an 18-wheeler at the 410 I-35 interchange. Sheriff Javier Salazar says they were able to bring in the 9 suspected human smugglers, along with 15 victims and $60,000 cash. At this time, all the victims seem to be okay and were supposed to be heading north, some as far as New York. They're now all in Homeland Security custody.
And police want you to take a good look at this picture. This is 15-year-old Angelina Medina. She is missing, and she was last seen Wednesday on Merida Street near Martinez Park on the city's west side. She is 4'9" and has a septum piercing. If you have any information on her whereabouts, you are asked to call the San Antonio Police Department's Missing Persons Unit, and that number is 210-207-7660.
In other news, San Antonio officially limiting hours for construction projects and therefore construction noise. City Council has approved a plan to allow construction projects from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., but there are exceptions. Crews can still pour concrete and use some machines outside those hours, and contractors can also get special permission to work outside the hours as long as they give the people who live nearby a 3-day warning. Today is sentencing for the former suburban Minnesota police officer seen on video using her gun instead of her taser, killing Daunte Wright.
The case, a flashpoint in the debate over police training and accountability. ABC's Monica Sar-Abdi has more.
This morning, Kim Potter, the former police officer who shot Daunte Wright during this traffic stop last April, saying she mistook her gun for her taser, will learn her fate.
We, the jury, on the charge of manslaughter in the first degree, find the defendant guilty.
A jury in December found Potter guilty of first and second degree manslaughter in the 20-year-old's death.
I'm sorry it happened. I didn't want to hurt anybody.
Her emotion seen on this body camera video moments after the shooting. Today, the Minnesota Attorney General's office is seeking a 7-year prison sentence, less than half the 15-year maximum in the state for first-degree manslaughter. In a court filing, the Attorney General writing, quote, Daunte Wright and his life must be held in the highest regard. The presumptive sentence reflects the culpability of the defendant's recklessness in causing Daunte Wright's death. But Potter's attorneys want a reduced sentence or probation, citing her track record on the force, lack of a criminal record, and remorse. The prosecution writing, if the judge is inclined to give a reduced sentence, Potter should spend a minimum of 1 year behind bars, followed by 10 years of probation. In court today, Potter is expected to reiterate how sorry she is and again apologize to Wright's family, members of whom are expected to give impact statements before the sentencing. Monica Sar-Abdi, ABC News, New York.
509, about 35 degrees.
And still ahead, why more and more people are logging onto Facebook's new metaverse platform.
Next, check to see if Team USA has moved up in the medal count at the Beijing Winter Games.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, very cold. Well, especially compared to yesterday morning. We're at 35 degrees now. Definitely grab a jacket and a coat, and you may want to hang on to it all day. We'll be right back.
Now to Beijing, where Team USA is looking to up the medal count on the snow and ice.
ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest.
Elaine Gu racking up more gold. The standout American-born freestyle skier representing China already had one from Big Air. And this morning, she's celebrating another top prize. This one in the women's free ski halfpipe. On the ice, Japanese speed skater Miho Takagi finishing the women's 1,000 meter in record time to clinch her first gold of Beijing 2022. Team USA's Brittany Bowe claimed bronze, her first individual medal of her career. And after falling to Slovakia in a shootout in the quarterfinals, the U.S. men's hockey team's hopes of a gold medal were eliminated. Overnight, Finland defeating Slovakia and advancing on to play the winner between Sweden and the Russian Olympic Committee. And speaking of Russia, a crushing Olympic defeat for Kamila Valieva, the 15-year-old phenom at the center of a doping scandal, failing to medal in the women's free skate. Valieva entering the day in first place, but committing multiple errors.
You were watching a young girl just really unravel and fall apart before our eyes.
With Valieva's gold medal from Russia's win in the team event under scrutiny, Olympic officials say Team USA, which secured silver, will now get torches instead of those medals until the situation is resolved. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Here is the latest medal count, and I can tell you in the last 24 hours, Sweden has dropped off this list and the Netherlands has been added. China moved up one spot. Norway still in the lead with 15 golds, 8 silvers and 11 bronzes. Team USA listed in third with 8 golds, 8 silvers and 5 bronzes as of this morning.
Still looking good. Time now, 5:14 and 35 degrees for now.
Still ahead, how Snapchat is finally allowing you to change your embarrassing username from years ago.
And how Peloton is making working out just a little more enjoyable.
Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun, saying, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry, don't worry.
It's Macy's President's Day sale with incredible furniture and mattress specials, like the classic Radley sofa, $7.99, and the elegant Monroe Queen bed, just $2.99. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying mattress purchase, now at Macy's.
Another day without pants. Is that a wolf on your t-shirt? Oh, it's time to freshen up and dress like a person.
In today's Tech Bites, a milestone for Facebook's virtual world platform, Metaverse. The company says 300,000 people are now involved with the game Horizon Worlds. That's 10 times the number of players than just 3 months ago. Relief for Snapchat users who want a new identity. An update this month will allow you to change your username without creating a new account. A new name will not affect your contacts, Snap code, Snap score, or memories. But once you switch, your old name is gone forever. And finally, Peloton is offering a change of pace, a series of video game-inspired workouts to spice up your routine. Lane Break, the racing game for the stationary bike, lets riders get behind a virtual wheel and race down a highway so that they can pick up points for higher output levels. I'm struggling with the originals. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday, and it reminded me of the sci-fi movie Tron.
Oh, yeah, very similar.
Have to check it out this weekend. 5:18 on your Friday.
Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos. Last look, I didn't see too much happening out there.
No, and we're not seeing any bikes out there either. But Jeff Bridges, was in Tron, right? Or am I thinking of? Okay, yes. Look, I got something. Yeah. The original one. Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Wow. I'm impressed. Very good.
I'm fitting in with the crowd now as the time goes by. So they're liking me more each day. All right, let me take a look at the roads and talk about what I do know right now. Things have been shaping up to look A-OK out on the roads right now. 410 at Evers, not a lot of people out there, but that's normal. It's actually been pretty quiet the last few mornings that we've been looking at these TransGuide cameras. However, saw some flashing lights out toward I-10 and 1604. However, it looks like things are looking a lot better there. Let's go ahead and take you to the map because we do have some road work that's actually going to be wrapping today. Sunday, February 13th over here by 410. It started on Monday, or pardon me, Sunday, but we'll be wrapping up a little bit later this morning. Some road work that started at 9 in the morning, actually 9 in the evening. 5 in the morning is when it wraps up. So we're not seeing any activity out there anymore, but that was a turnaround closure from the east to westbound frontage road between Quail Creek Drive and Perrin-Bidle Road. And one of the big ones that's wrapping up a little bit later this morning is right over here off of I-10, some utility work that started last Monday, but will be finishing up around 4 this afternoon. It was led to a single right lane closure on the eastbound frontage road right there at UTSA Boulevard. So some good news for travelers that have to take that route near I-10, but bird's eye view of the map shows we're in great shape as we're getting the morning going. We'll see how things continue on, guys.
Good place to be. Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, not bad for Friday.
What's always funny is especially younger kids these days, you show them older movies like that and they go, oh my God, the special effects. You know? Not you, but
I appreciate it all.
Yeah.
Well, what's cool, the last Tron movie, they had old Jeff Bridges, and then they de-aged him with that new technology too, right, for some scenes as well.
Like they did with the Star Wars series. Yeah. It's interesting when they do that.
Stuff. Yep. All right, take a look outside. This was the Luling Moon and some high clouds out there. Great looking picture. Thank you for the KSAT Connect shot. One thing, there's not really anything going on here. However, right down there at the bottom, boy, that flag's definitely getting a workout with the wind out of the north still at about 20, 25 miles per hour. Got some pretty good wind gusts still. And temperatures, had a little problem with the reading out there in Helotes, so it's not 19 right there, but otherwise we've got 20s, 30s, 35 at the airport, Randolph, 36 New Braunfels. And again, these winds, 10, 15 miles per hour, gusts to 28 New Braunfels, 22 out there at the airport. Yeah, again, wind chill temperatures. It is cold out there, definitely bundle up, and it's going to be staying chilly throughout the day. We will see some sunshine, but again, it's going to be kind of as a sort of veiled sunshine. There is some moisture upstairs in the atmosphere, and we're going to keep some of those high clouds around. So not those intense, vivid blue skies like a couple of days ago, but still more sunshine. And that's going to help to get us up in the upper 50s later on today. Here you can see some of the clouds that are hanging around here. Some clearing off in portions of the hill country. So it will be kind of some limited clouds, more sunshine off to the west, but again, that veiled sunshine. And around the country, boy, that system which was just wreaking havoc up to the north of us a couple of days ago, just hightailing it off to the northeast, but more just frigid temperatures up there. And most of the country, with the exception of Florida and the Atlantic seaboard, I mean, look at the difference. New York 62, Cleveland 21 as of right now. So most of the country is definitely on the cold side at or below freezing. So here's what's going on. We've got the latest front that moved on through here, this kind of northwesterly flow in the atmosphere, and then some of that moisture coming in here aloft in the atmosphere, and that's why the high clouds around. We're going to be clearing out nicely tomorrow. Then the clouds start to work their way back in here as that low approaches off to the west of us. It's going to pump more moisture on in, and notice how it falls apart. So yes, some rain chances Monday, not great rain chances at all. One thing this will do is definitely help to pull in the heat around here. That's going to be Monday and Tuesday. And then as we go into the middle part of the week, this trough is going to start to move on through, and that's going to bring through another front. So we'll be very, very hot and humid Tuesday, and then the bottom drops out again on Wednesday. 50 degrees today at noon, partly cloudy skies. High temperature mixing the upper 50s. A lot of those high clouds hanging around here. Tomorrow, we're going to be down to freezing, and then more than double that up to 65 in the afternoon with plenty of sunshine. More, whoops, just jump past it here. Let me do this real quickly. Get back to that 5-day, 7-day. Well, is it going to do it for me? Nope.
Aww,
what a beautiful picture of the moon in Luling. We're going to be up to 65 tomorrow, upper 60s on Sunday, and then 80s Monday and Tuesday. Very humid Monday and Tuesday, and then temperatures will drop off with another front by Wednesday. So
you and technology are like this sometimes.
No, I just, I'm just keep going.
You got excited. You're
punching that little button.
A little over-caffeinated. And
this one is supposed to go back here.
Okay.
Okay, we were meant to look at this beautiful picture once again.
Yes, we were. And we'll show your forecast coming up. All right, don't do that. 520, okay, maybe do that. 524, 35 degrees.
And coming up next in your morning spotlight, a first look at the trailer for the new movie Elvis. And we'll have news about what's next for Stranger Things.
Welcome back. Exactly 527. You got to see this. One of music's all-time superstars is headed to the big screen in a big way.
CNN's David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
He was my destiny. I wish to promote you, Mr. Presley. Are you ready to fly?
I'm ready. Ready to fly.
Here's your first look at writer-director Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, starring Austin Butler as Elvis Presley and Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker. Elvis opens internationally beginning June 22nd and in U.S. theaters June 24th.
11, if you're listening.
Stranger Things fans have a lot to look forward to. The show's creators say the first volume of the supersized fourth season will hit Netflix on May 27th, with Volume 2 following on July 1st. They also say Season 5 will be the last for the hit series, but they promise plenty of new mysteries and adventures before they bring the curtain down on the Upside Down. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. 528, about 35 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA as new COVID-19 cases continue to fall, why some are worried about a stealth Omicron subvariant.
Plus, an important recall for new parents regarding some popular powdered infant formulas. We'll have the details.
And are you ready to try Coca-Cola Starlight? Well, we're going to tell you about this brand new flavor of soda that's hitting stores soon.
Making headlines this morning, what doctors are saying about the severity of a so-called stealth Omicron subvariant of the coronavirus.
And taking a look outside with live cam. Yes, we are starting cold this morning. We're at 35 degrees. And even if you were prepared, wow, opening that door, it's still kind of a challenge this morning.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday the 18th.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. You had said earlier it's like seesaw weather. That's pretty appropriate. It's going all over the place.
It's really going to be hard to plan the next 5 to 7 days because Mike says there's something for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Just about. And we talked about opening up the door being difficult, especially if your door opens outward facing northward because you got pretty good wind still out there. So we do have some wind chills to deal with and got some high clouds hanging around here still. And we're going to keep some of those around today, so we'll have sort of that veiled sunshine. 35 degrees. Yesterday at this time we were in the mid 60s, just to put it in comparison. Wind out of the north at 12 miles per hour, but we do have some pretty good wind gusts out there right now. 14 at New Braunfels. Again, these are the sustained winds, and then the gust to 28 New Braunfels, 22 out there at the airport. And it's going to be breezier this morning, then the wind is going to ease somewhat later on today, but still enough of a breeze out there. You're going to want a jacket, plus we're only going to be in the upper 50s today. And the wind chill temperatures right now, just about everybody, with a couple of exceptions, is down in the 20s and even down in the teens. And the allergens, molds on the moderate side. What'll be interesting is when the updated count comes out to see what happened with Mountain Cedar overnight because of the winds all day long coming in here out of the north. And we, of course, had a laundry list of everything yesterday. Throughout the rest of today, 50 at noon, 58 high for a high temperature with high clouds out there and wind out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. We are going to be hitting freezing again tomorrow, then big heat up, then a big cool down. Get it all sorted out in just a couple of minutes. Traffic authorities, Stephen Cavazos. Anything big going on out there?
Another quiet morning on the roads, Mike. It's still very early right now and really not seeing much of a difference since we last talked to you a few minutes ago. But again, taking a closer look at TransGuide, you can see that these shots do show that it is, again, a very quiet commute. Did see some flashing lights out here a little bit earlier off US 90 at Nogalitos, but it does look like that has since cleared out and the roads look nice and open right now. And that's what we're seeing right here on our map. Bird's eye view shows lots of green on the screen, what we love to see, especially as people are getting ready to drive off into the weekend. No problems just yet, but we know obviously when the morning does go on, that's when some of those problems start to present themselves. But the good news is you're basically going to have the roads to yourself. Travel times right now, if you're coming into San Antonio, no delays. 29 from Seguin to downtown, westbound lanes, 87 northbound from Livonia, 22 minutes at this hour, and 28 if you're traveling in from Floresville. So not really worried about that, but we'll keep a close eye on the roads. We'll have construction coming up in the next few minutes. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. The number of new COVID cases continues to fall in the U.S. overall.
However, there's also some news that the stealth Omicron subvariant is spreading. CNN's Britt Conway breaks down what we know right now.
They're going way down.
Nationwide, new COVID-19 cases, overall hospitalizations, and deaths all going down. But
we want to pull back and say we're done. Well, you know, the virus may not be done with us.
Case in point, BA2, a subvariant of Omicron. It appears to be about 30% to 50% more contagious than Omicron, and it's been detected in 74 countries and 47 U.S. states. The World Health Organization says the prevalence of BA2 appears to be increasing, both in countries experiencing a decline in Omicron cases and in countries that are in the growing phase of the wave.
It is showing some kind of level of transmission advantage.
Japanese researchers say this subvariant needs to be more closely monitored. Based on lab experiments yet to be peer-reviewed, they say it spreads faster and might cause more severe disease than Omicron. But severity in the real world is a different story. BA2 has gained a foothold in South Africa and the UK, and hospitalizations continue to decline. But in Denmark, where it's also the leading cause of infections, the WHO says hospitalizations and deaths are rising. The good news, we have the tools to fight the spread.
The things that we're doing to really protect ourselves, the vaccination, the other protective measures, are beating back the worst effects of Omicron.
But you have to be prepared to re-mitigate again if you see a rebound coming up.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
A winter storm has been causing all sorts of problems in different parts of the country. Heavy snow in parts of Missouri left drivers stuck on roadways for hours yesterday. You can see a semi slid out and blocked a highway along with hundreds of cars backed up for miles. Missouri State Highway Patrol says there were so many accidents it was hard to pinpoint the initial cause. One point traffic model suggested it would take 11 days to drive from downtown Kansas City to Kansas City International Airport. That's about a 30-minute drive in normal conditions.
In Washington, the Senate passed a resolution last night condemning Russia's aggressive actions toward Ukraine. It was a symbolic move after a binding sanctions bill failed. The bipartisan resolution passed by a voice vote, and it shows Congress has a somewhat unified message for Russia. But the fact the sanctions bill didn't advance shows a division among Republicans and Democrats. Meanwhile, President Biden has warned an attack could come in days.
The IRS ramping up its effort to address a massive backlog of tax returns and correspondence. Officials say the agency is setting up a surge team for this purpose. The IRS has already redirected about 1,200 employees back into entry-level clerical positions. Their job now to manually file paperwork and answer phones in an effort to shrink the backlog. Mandatory overtime for employees has also been implemented. The backlogs from the past 2 years are a result, they say, of the COVID-19 pandemic. 5:37, about 35 degrees.
And still ahead, details on a special program for parents and children dealing with severe heart conditions.
And Coca-Cola is ready to release a brand new flavor of soda. We'll tell you about Coca-Cola Starlight coming up.
Interesting, kind of like our weather. Taking a look outside with live cam, we're at a cold 35 degrees right now, but if you don't like that, don't worry, things will be changing this weekend and actually later next week. We'll be right back.
5:40, February is American Heart Month. For some parents, this month is also about remembering how their children with heart issues fought and won, or sadly lost.
Ursula Perry shows us a program for these parents and children.
These are the beads of courage shown by the Nelson family.
It's pretty long, longer than you would think. 2 weeks. I don't even think you can see all of it in the picture.
2 weeks of memories, 118 beads worth of moments, procedures, and diagnoses for heart conditions that little Mackenzie Jane, in the end, could not survive.
We have beads on there that represent the first time I held her, the first time my wife held her, the first time her brother held her.
She died on July 29th, and there's a bead for that, too.
And it's the biggest, it's the heaviest, and it actually represents what we feel. It's the heaviest emotion in the whole process.
Beads of Courage is a nationwide program that is now at University Health. It's coordinated through child life specialists like Jessica Luna.
And there's special
beads for each thing that a child goes through, whether that's just an overnight stay in the hospital or an x-ray. But then there's some special beads for things like an act of courage, whether that be something really remarkable that the parents did or the child did. And for the moms and dads to be able to see, we made it through this, we did this. I had a fighter and we got through this together as a family, and that's remarkable.
Each bead is unique, each one handmade and curated from artists from all around the country. Some families have had the luck of having multiple strands, sometimes with hundreds upon hundreds of beads, recording their acts of courage and heart. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
Time right now, 5:42, about 35 degrees.
And coming up next, an important recall involving some popular brands of powdered infant formulas. In your morning consumer headlines, the FDA is warning parents to double check labels if you're using powdered infant formula. The popular brands at issue are from Abbott Nutrition. Products labeled Similac, Alimentum, and Elecare may be contaminated. The FDA is investigating whether the formulas made at a facility in Michigan could include dangerous bacteria. There have been reports of 4 infants hospitalized and 1 death in 3 states. The FDA says parents should avoid using formula if the first 2 digits on the infant formula code are between 22 and 37, and if expiration date is April 2022 or later. The FDA is working with Abbott Labs to begin a voluntary recall. You can check out fda.gov for more details.
The FDA says 2 kinds of deodorant are being recalled due to concerns about a cancer-causing chemical. HRB Brands is recalling 4 types of Brute deodorant sprays and 2 types of Sure antiperspirant sprays. Officials are concerned about the presence of the chemical benzene. It is not an ingredient in the products, but unexpected levels of benzene were discovered in the propellant used for the spray cans. The recalled items have an expiration date on or before August 2023. The FDA advises people with the products to discard them. HRB Brands has set up a website where you can get more information on the recall and possible refunds at BruteSureRecall2022.com.
Coca-Cola is introducing a new limited edition flavor called Starlight. It's not clear exactly what the reddish colored soda is supposed to taste like. Well, the company says it's inspired by space and has noted that reminiscent of stargazing around a campfire and cooling sensation evoking the feeling of a cold journey to space. It's the first drink from Coca-Cola Creations and a new innovation platform which will introduce new limited time products and experiences. Starlight hits store shelves across the U.S. starting on Monday.
Just about 5:47.
Let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos on this Friday morning.
Whole lot of nothing out there right now, so we're not seeing a lot of issues. Thankfully, it's a quiet start to this Friday morning. I-10 at 35. Let's get a closer look with TransGuide as we take a look and see how we're shaping up on the roadways, getting closer and closer to the weekend. But right now, some people still have to make the drive, so just be on the lookout because we do have a stall that was reported right here off of I-10 eastbound at De Zavala, not causing issues. But as always, check the vehicles and make sure you give drivers plenty of room out there. I do want to give you a quick reminder here. As we mentioned yesterday, there was a lot of buildup there on 1604 due to a crash. There's also some road work that's been taking place that started on Monday and will continue up until February 26th. Now, keep in mind, this is weekdays from 9 in the morning up until 5 in the afternoon. So we'll see lots of congestion there around 1604 in the northwest side for that bridge widening. Keep in mind, it's a full alternating closure of the Kyle Seal Parkway area, again, due to that bridge widening. So we'll see that activity probably last for quite a while now. But overall, right now, things are still in great shape. Lots of green on the screen, and we love to see it as we're getting closer to the weekend. It can already feel it, guys.
Our producer Hardy Meredith thought he could sneak into a birthday weekend without us knowing, and we have a surprise for him. Happy birthday, Hardy Meredith. Oh, you're welcome, buddy.
He said thank you.
He produces this 90-minute newscast from home and communicates with us remotely, so he's not around to smack us in the head for doing this.
Hey, no. Hardy, is that you at home cooking us something right now to celebrate your birthday?
He said yes, the sun's already come up.
Yeah, and basically told you you're full of beans.
If anybody brings a birthday cake, we'll be sure to eat it for you.
No, enjoy your weekend.
We hope you have a great birthday, Hardy. All right. Let's talk about the forecast, Michael.
Cold out there. Boy, if you're grilling, make sure you bundle up. And beautiful out there. Somerset Road sunset as the front came in yesterday. Boy, you knew it when that front moved on through here. And this flag right there, right along 410 Access Road over there by the airport sure is getting a workout because it is still windy with winds out of the north, about 10, 15, 20 miles per hour. Still got those pretty good wind gusts out there. It'll be windier this morning and then the winds ease up later on today. But we've got a wind chill to deal with. 27 at the airport, Randolph, 29 Canyon Lake, and 26 Bernie Stage, Bandera. Teens way out there in the hill country is what it actually feels like. Yesterday, of course, we hit 76 here in town. Boy, you can tell who got the front first. Only 60s in the hill country, and then mid and even some upper 80s down to the south. Different story today, of course. Everybody's just going to be in the 50s and 60s. We here in town, the normal high temperature is mid-upper 60s, so we're going to be about 10 degrees below normal. That's the case all around the area. Kind of some veiled sunshine as well because of some of this moisture aloft in the atmosphere, this lighter shade of gray here on the water vapor imagery. So it won't be those intense, vivid blue skies. Still plenty of sunshine, but just again, some of those high clouds out there later on today. All right, the air has dried out just by considerably. I mean, yesterday, these dew points, you could feel the humidity, and now they're well down into the 20s, and that's going to be the case tomorrow as well. So that combined with clearer skies, lighter wind tomorrow, we're going to be getting down to freezing tomorrow morning. Then the humidity starts to work its way back into the picture. Definitely humid by Monday and Tuesday. With these numbers, you get above 60, you feel it, and that combined with temperatures that are going to be well up into the 80s. Yes, well up into the 80s, I said, for Monday and Tuesday. However, another front's going to move through here, and that's going to knock the humidity out and knock those temperatures down as well. So here's what the computer model looks like. Some high clouds hanging around here today, a lot of sunshine tomorrow. Then the clouds come back in here Sunday. And by Monday, a couple of sprinkly showers going to be possible, not very likely. Tuesday will clear back out briefly, and then the clouds move back in here on Wednesday. And Wednesday right now and Thursday look to be the better chances for some rain. And this is also going to be as that front moves on through here. That's going to be overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. So it looks like we'll start off on the milder side, or at least say mid-50s Wednesday morning, and then drop down throughout the day. Kind of like what we did yesterday, dropping down in the afternoon. 50 today at noon, partly cloudy skies. High temperature is going to make it up to 58. Again, about 10 below normal. A lot of those high clouds out there, sort of that veiled sunshine. Tomorrow, we start off freezing. Plenty of sunshine. Good looking day. Grab a jacket, though. Although 65 in the afternoon won't be bad. It'll cool off kind of quickly, though, once the sun goes down. Clouds come in Sunday. 68 and then 80s Monday, Tuesday. Very, very warm and humid. Perhaps a few showers on Monday. Better chance of rain Wednesday, Thursday, and colder temperatures again. 85 down to 40. Tuesday,
40.
Wednesday.
40. I keep forgetting about the holiday on Monday. A lot of schools are out and offices
President's
closed,
Day
stuff like that. Yeah.
Monday.
You're taking the day off, right?
Yes.
Good for you. Are you here?
I'm here.
All right. And you're stuck with me, too.
You're stuck with me.
Sorry. 552, 35 degrees.
And Tom Holland's Uncharted movie hits theaters today, and the game series it is based on also has a new title out now for the PlayStation 5. We're going to take a first look next.
Here are your lottery numbers. Pick 3, 682, Fireball 7. Daily 4, 8483, Fireball 0.
Cash 5, 10, 17, 24, 27, 28. And your Texas two-step, 9, 30, 32, 34, bonus ball 14. And happy birthday again, Hardy. You're welcome.
I am a man of fortune, and I must seek my fortune.
Nathan Drake and Chloe Fraser get their adventures updated for the PlayStation 5 in Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection.
It includes Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and Uncharted Lost Legacy, which was a standalone quasi-expansion or downloadable content kind of tied to the experience of Uncharted 4 with different characters than Nathan Drake.
You know that treasure hunting is not a good gig for the risk of us.
The gameplay in Lost Legacy is very different from what we have seen in established Uncharted games. It's much more open world and a little bit more sort of you pull out the map and you figure out where you want to go, and you can kind of take the adventure at your own pace and at your own time.
biggest pirate treasure of all time is within our grasp.
But the marquee standout element of this collection for sure is Uncharted 4. It is such a beautiful game. It's obviously tipping the fedora to Indiana Jones. Now, both of these games are PlayStation 4 games, but they've been given a PlayStation 5 coat of paint to take advantage of the new PlayStation 5 DualSense controllers and their haptic feedback. And it also runs at a higher frame rate, so 60 frames per second.
Come on. We got a treasure to find.
Leveling up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Hey, just in case you missed it, there are several places giving away free N95 masks in and around town. Our web team has put together a list of places where you can get yours. Just click on this article right now on ksat.com. So glad you're starting your Friday with us here on GMSA. When it comes to alcoholic beverages, millennials seem to be drinking less wine, opting for other kinds of drinks instead. Ahead on the morning show, we'll show you how one local winery is adapting to meet consumer demands, including those of Ms. Sarah Costa. And checking TransGuide right now, see how things are looking out there as we kick off our weekend with one more day of work and then a long holiday weekend for most. There's 35 at St. Mary's. We will be back after this with a check of traffic and weather with Stephen and Mike Osterhage.
Little Lena Keel is still missing. However, many are still holding out hope that she will be found, with reward for information leading to her increasing. Details ahead.
New violence in eastern Ukraine is stoking fears of a new war in Europe. I'm Mike Ajachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, how Ukrainian citizens are preparing.
Coronavirus cases falling, but how much should we be worried about what they're calling a new stealth Omicron variant? We'll hear what some experts are saying.
And chilly outside. It is 35 degrees this morning, and even if you prepared for this, the cold front, it was still a little bit of a surprise.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Morning, everybody. It's Friday, February 18th.
Prepare with that jacket or coat or with whatever you have in store. And I guess, go ahead and keep your whole wardrobe handy for the weekend.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Late yesterday, that front started to move in. Really gusty winds caught a lot of people off guard late yesterday afternoon and last night.
It moved in right on schedule. We hit mid-70s about mid-afternoon, and it got much colder. It was really chilly. To be out about 5, 6 o'clock. And then this morning, it's just burr. It's going to stay pretty cold all day long, too. We have temperatures right now that are down in the 30s, down in the 20s. We've got winds coming in here out of the north at about 10, 15 miles per hour. And still, they have been, no gusts right now out the airport. We have had gusts to about 20 and even 30 earlier this morning, gusting to 22 in New Braunfels. Wind chill temperatures, 28 at the airport, 27 New Braunfels, and even a couple of teens out there. And so definitely bundle up. And throughout the rest of today, well, first of all, molds on the moderate side. Everything else, and the most allergens we've seen out there. I guess the trees are maybe coming into bloom a little bit, but it's going to be interesting to see what Mountain Cedar looks like with the updated count later on this morning after the windy conditions we had yesterday and overnight. So temperatures, we may drop down a few more degrees, although the wind tends to prevent the thermometer from getting as cold as what it can. You still got the wind chills to deal with, obviously, and the wind will still be around later on this afternoon, but not as strong as what it is right now. Then by noon, 50 degrees. And like I said, veiled sunshine, high temperature 58. So it's still going to be pretty chilly out there. Another cold night, another very cold morning. We are going to be then seeing hot and humid and back to the cold all over the place with these temperatures. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos. Haven't had anything really big and major so far this morning.
Yeah, it's been a nice morning out on the roadways, Mike. As we take a look at TransGuide, it does show you that it's still very quiet out there, but given the fact that it is a little bit after 6 this morning, we do anticipate a lot more folks out there in the next few minutes. But right now, things are shaping up to look A-OK. 35 at St. Mary's. There's a shot from TransGuide right there. I-10 west at Loop 1604. There were some flashing lights earlier in the morning out in this location, but it looks like that is cleared out and things are moving nice and easy. But although they are moving, things are slowing down for others. We do have some stalls to talk about here on the map. Right now, I-10 eastbound at De Zavala Road. We told you about the stall earlier. It's not causing issues for drivers, but be on the lookout because we see that trend continue down over here off 35 southbound at US 90. Now, these stalls aren't causing problems, as I mentioned, but make sure that you're checking those vehicles. And when you see those flashing lights or stranded drivers, make sure to move over, slow down. Pushing out of the map, let's get that view and show you how great things are looking at 6:03 this morning. No problems detected other than those stalls. And right now, if you are traveling into San Antonio, green across the board here. Right now, Pleasant Drive from Pleasanton, 37 northbound, 28 minutes at this hour. Coming in from US 90 from Castroville, we're looking at just 18 minutes and 17 little time from Lytle on 35 northbound. No problems there, but we'll watch the roads closely and give, flashing lights. There it is. We'll find out what's happening there at US 90. That may be that stalled vehicle, but we'll have more on that coming up in the next few minutes. Mark.
Thank you, sir. New this morning, a suspicious fire at a commercial building on the northeast side leaves an extensive amount of damage behind, and fire crews investigating what or who may have caused it.
Jonathan Cotto joins us live at the scene. Good morning, Jonathan. And was anyone hurt?
Good morning, Stephanie. And luckily, no injuries were reported. We did learn that this happened last night, so we're told nobody was here on site. Now, the scene is clear here right now, but earlier this morning, the work crews out here keeping an eye out for any potential hot spots. This is what we know right now. We know close to 10 o'clock, firefighters were responding to the scene here on Old O'Connor Road to this commercial facility that's near Weidner and Lookout Roads. Firefighters tell us they were met with a number of challenges as they attempted to gain control of the fire involving a series of metal buildings that are all connected. One of those challenges, getting water, and that's because the location of the fire is far from the road. Now, crews calling for a second alarm because of the size of the area they were trying to put out. And the fire even presenting a major danger to the surrounding area. There's a business next door and right across the street, a neighborhood. And of course, last night's heavy winds were surely no help. But the good news here is firefighters were able to keep that fire from spreading, eventually gaining control of the flames. Now, Mark, Stephanie, we are learning that investigators are speaking with someone who may have potential information here about this fire and what may have provoked it. Right now, this case remains under investigation. We'll update you as more information is made available. Reporting live from the city's northeast side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. Some other top stories we're following for you this morning. 9 people in custody following a human smuggling bust in southwest Bexar County. Sheriff's deputies and federal agencies zeroed in on 3 different sites for the bust. The biggest was at a home in southwest Bexar County near Somerset. The second was a spot not far from the house, and the third was a traffic stop of a big rig at the 410 I-35 interchange. Sheriff Javier Salazar says they were able to bring in the 9 suspected human smugglers along with 15 victims and $60,000 cash. This time all the victims seem to be okay. We're supposed to be heading north some as far as New York State.
And around the country, new COVID-19 cases and deaths continue to fall, but the stealth Omicron subvariant is spreading. And so far, it's been detected in 74 countries and 47 U.S. states. And researchers say it appears to be about 30% to 50% more contagious than Omicron. However, some health experts say the new subvariant needs to be more closely monitored. Still, most health experts agree getting vaccinated is the best defense against all strains of COVID-19.
Now to the growing fears of an all-out war between Russia and Ukraine. President Biden saying he believes the possibility of the invasion of Ukraine is very high. ABC's Saika Jachi is in Washington with more.
This morning, the United States engaging in last-minute diplomacy in an effort to avert a war between Russia and Ukraine. President Biden will host a closed-door meeting with European allies. This coming after he said the possibility of Russia invading Ukraine is very high. Meanwhile, Russia's foreign minister agreeing to meet with Secretary of State Antony Blinken next week, provided there is no further Russian invasion of Ukraine, according to the State Department. Blinken laying out how an invasion of Ukraine could unfold.
Russian missiles and bombs will drop across Ukraine. Communications will be jammed. Cyber attacks will shut down key Ukrainian institutions. After that, Russian tanks and soldiers will advance on key targets.
We have reason to believe that they are engaged in a false flag operation to have an excuse to go in.
The false flag warning comes after the shelling of a village in eastern Ukraine. Ukrainian authorities say these images show children being led away from a local kindergarten that was hit by Russian-backed separatists. No children were injured. ABC's Terry Moran describing the scene on the ground.
The pace of civil defense preparations here has really intensified, not just inspecting and preparing bomb shelters, but children across Ukraine are now drilling in schools, readying themselves for a potential Russian bombardment, and they are also learning first aid now.
Here at home, experts tell Yahoo News the growing conflict could have a major impact on gas prices.
My guess is that you're going to see $5 gas, and you might get to 6.5 or 7.
And the DOJ is issuing a warning to companies to immediately shore up their cybersecurity defenses ahead of a possible invasion of Ukraine. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
And back here at home, San Antonio is officially limiting hours for construction projects, which will then limit construction noise. City Council has approved a plan to allow construction from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., but there are some exceptions. Crews can still pour concrete and use some machines outside those hours, and contractors can also get special permission to work outside those hours as long as they give the people who live nearby a 3-day warning.
Harlandale ISD hoping to get voters to on board with a $125 million proposal to make major upgrades to schools over the next 10 years. The district asking voters to approve 3 separate bonds May 7th. The funds will improve facilities, build new ones, and bring in new student programs. Average homeowner would see a tax increase of about $60 more a year. But educators say the improvements will really pave the way, the path for progress for families.
Our band, wants to perform and have a concert, but we can't have it in our district because we don't have the facilities for that. So this year would definitely keep a lot of things not only home, but allow our kids to have something that they're proud of and also compete in.
When we did open softball and baseball, that was a concern by the community, was that we don't have lighting and that we don't have the facilities.
If approved, the tax increase would not impact homeowners over the age of 65. You can read more about the bond proposal over on ksat.com.
In your morning consumer headlines, the expectation of interest rates will be on the rise soon, and that's driving up mortgage rates, making it harder for would-be homebuyers. A 30-year fixed loan now nearing 4%, the highest level in almost 3 years.
Time check 6:10, about 35 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, it's sentencing day for the former Minnesota police officer seen on video using her gun instead of her taser, killing a man. We're going to have that story.
And do you have an old Snapchat username you wish you could get rid of forever? Well, the app is letting you do something about that, but there is a catch. We have details ahead.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, starting at a cold 35 degrees. And even though we're going to get up to the 60s, you may want to hang on to your jacket all day. We'll be right back.
.614 topping today's Tech Bites, a milestone for Facebook's virtual world platform Metaverse. The company says 300,000 people are now involved in the game Horizon Worlds. That's 10 times the number of players compared to just 3 months ago.
And some relief for Snapchat users who want a new identity. An update this month will allow you to change your username without creating a new account. So a new name will not affect your contacts in Snapcode or Snapscore or memories. However, once you switch your old name, that is gone forever.
And finally, Peloton offering a change of pace with a series of video game-inspired workouts to spice up your routine. Lane Break, which looks like it was inspired by the movie Tron, is a racing game for the stationary bike. Lets riders get behind the virtual race and race down a highway, and they can pick up points for higher output levels.
It does look like Tron.
And if I survive the workout this weekend, I'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah, keep me posted on that one.
Right now, 6:15, about 35 degrees.
Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos. Looks a little busier out on the roadways, but still okay, I guess.
Yeah, still okay. No racing down these highways, so we don't need any of that. Right now, things are in great shape as we're getting closer to morning rush, just minutes away, really. But right now, US 90 at 36. You can see that traffic is moving there. 281 at Bitters. It does look a lot busier than an hour ago, but but we know this is an hour that most people are going to get their day started and grab that cup of coffee. So right now, let's take a look at the map. Just be on the lookout. Stalls seem to be the issues that have been presenting themselves for at least the last 40 minutes or so. I-10 eastbound at Days of Allah Road. We told you about that stall there. It does look like this stall may have cleared out, though, off I-35 southbound at US 90. I was checking those TransGuide cameras. Everything's looking fine. No flashing lights just yet. But, of course, we're going to continue to watch those shots and these roads throughout the morning. Getting a wider look at the map, you can see that, again, we're still off to a quiet start, but we're getting closer to that morning rush hour. So we know that things could quickly change in the next few minutes. But let's make sure that we get to the weekend safely, guys.
I love that shot of the Alamo Dome there.
I love that, too. We don't see that too often.
Right there at freeway level. Kind of cool. Thank you, Stephen.
Yes, and this morning, definitely a jacket. Maybe yesterday was a light jacket, today, heavy jacket.
Oh, definitely. And warm up the bus, warm up the car, because it is cold out there. We have some wind chill temperatures, and it's not going to be any heat wave today. That's coming, though, believe it or not. This morning, it will continue to drop down a few notches. We're in the mid-30s right now. It's all said and done, we hit freezing here in town. And then 58 for a high temperature with a lot of high clouds hanging out here later on today. And it won't be as windy later on. Now, as far as the moon, should see a fairly good-looking moonrise later on this evening. We're going to have, like I said, some of those high clouds out there. But love this. Moonrise, she's on the wane, but who can tell? Yep. Just a couple of days past full. Absolutely beautiful picture. Thank you very much for that. And some sunshine later on this morning once the sun decides to come up. But again, we've got a few clouds still hanging around here. 28 is the wind chill in town. 30 Bandera, 20 Kerrville, 19 right now in Lost Maples. And here's some of that high level moisture that's hanging around here. We did have those clear skies yesterday, and then the front moved on through and we started getting this moisture coming in here from the southwest. So that's still going to be sticking around. So that's going to be that kind of milky shade to the sky, a little veiled sunshine out there. It's not going to be those just, you know, deep, vividly blue skies like we had a couple of days ago. Temperatures, so we get up to upper 50s today, 60s tomorrow, 68 Sunday, close to normal readings. And then look at that, we get that spike in temperatures Monday and Tuesday, and with humidity to match, by the way. So if you're a fan of all the heat and humidity, you're going to love Monday and Tuesday. And then the rest of us get our weather back Wednesday, Thursday, and we got another front moving on through here. And these low temperatures, again, down to freezing tomorrow, and then up right around 60 or so Monday, Tuesday, and then back down to the colder temperatures. Notice how the low Wednesday, 55, but that high was 40, so it's going to be one of those sort of upside down days where the front's going to move through, will be milder in the morning, and then we get to colder temperatures throughout the day. The humidity comes back up, as I mentioned, by Monday. It'll start to increase somewhat on Sunday. We have more clouds Sunday, and then that next front comes on through here. Here's the computer model long range. Some of those high clouds hanging around here today. Tomorrow, a lot of sunshine. Then the clouds move back in Sunday. Monday, chance for some rain, even though this model doesn't depict it. Maybe later on Monday. We'll clear out Tuesday. Then clouds come back in Wednesday with that chance of rain with that front, and that's going to continue on into, it looks like, portions of Thursday as well. So the forecast today is going to be up to 50 at noon, not a huge warm up. And again, sort of that milky shade to the sky, high clouds, 58 for a high temperature today, about 10 degrees, almost 10 degrees below normal. Down to freezing tomorrow morning because we're not going to have quite as much of a wind tomorrow morning, and plenty of sunshine. Clouds Sunday, cloudy skies, a couple of showers possible on Monday, and very warm and humid Monday and Tuesday. Then that all changes again by Wednesday with another strong front moving through here.
Did you wind up losing your new flowers or plants at your place, Steph?
No,
in the windy
it actually
conditions?
stayed put
Well, that's
because
good.
by the time I got home, I moved it back.
Okay, good.
Well, that's good.
Good.
So everything's okay.
That's good news. All right, 6:19, folks, about 35 degrees.
And coming up, a Texas A&M basketball coach is fighting back after she received criticism over an outfit she wore on the court. That's ahead in your GMA First Look.
What can I do with less asthma? With Dupixent, I can do more yard work, teamwork, long walks.
Game on!
That's how you do more with Dupixent, which helps prevent asthma attacks. Dupixent's not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that can improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks and can reduce or even eliminate oral steroids. And here's something important. Dupixent can cause serious allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Get help right away if you have rash, shortness of breath, chest pain, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection, and don't change or stop your asthma treatments, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Are you ready to do more with less asthma?
Hey, come on!
Just ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
In this morning's GMA First Look, boxing out her critics.
What do you say to those who say, but how do you coach in high heels?
When Texas A&M assistant basketball coach Sydney Carter clapped back at critics who talked about her clothing. This outfit on her Twitter account sparked a fierce debate about what's appropriate attire for women in sports.
I had no idea that it was going to take off like this.
The social media comments swift and not all kind, some saying it was unprofessional, others going so far as to say Carter should be fined.
What was your thoughts after you got such reaction to your pink pants?
I was confused just because it was just something that I had always done.
And we'll have much more of our exclusive interview coming up at 7 a.m. and the message Coach Carter wants women in every profession to hear. With your GMA First Look, I'm Deborah Roberts, ABC News.
And time now, 6:24 and 35 degrees for now.
Next half hour, GMSA man in jail accused of pulling a knife at an area Best Buy store before running off with stolen goods. We have other details.
And we'll tell you why firefighters had a hard time putting out a fire at a commercial building on the northeast side.
And checking the roads with TransGuide. Much heavier traffic, 410 at Evers, 410 at San Pedro. Stephen Cavazos will let you know if there are any major accidents around town. That's coming up right here on GMSA. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Good morning, I'm Jonathan Cotto. San Antonio Fire Department investigating a fire at a commercial facility on the city's northeast side. Coming up on GMSA, we'll tell you what we know.
Outside with Live Cam, are you ready for the cold? Well, it is here. If you didn't notice the cold front rattling your windows late yesterday into last night. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday the 18th.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. Oh, I noticed, definitely, and especially this morning, even walking out.
Oh, yeah, mid-30s out there. Mike, is the wind chill a factor this morning, or was that pretty much overnight?
No, that was overnight and also this morning. The wind was stronger earlier. It's starting to ease up, and it's not going to be as windy later on this afternoon. But, you know, even yesterday afternoon, when that front moved through, we were at about 75 degrees, dropped about 10 degrees just within less than an hour, and kept dropping and dropping and dropping. And as you can see, we do have a little bit of some breaks in the clouds. So this mid-high level cloud layer moved on in late yesterday afternoon. That actually has prevented us from getting even colder. I think we'll still, when it's all said and done, drop down a few more degrees. 35, dew point 23. That's about 40 degrees lower than what it was at this time yesterday. Remember, it was pretty humid yesterday morning. Wind is out of the north at 9, and temperatures right now. This is having a little trouble with the thermometer out there in Helotes. It's not 19, but we've got 30 Bernie Stage, 32 Bulverde, Rio Medina, 20s in the Hill Country, and the wind, which this morning earlier was about 20, gusting to close to 30 here at the airport. No wind gusts are being reported right now, but still fairly blustery over there in New Braunfels at 22 miles per hour and gusting to 19 in Los Maples. So we've got a wind chill of 19, 28 out there at the airport, 26 at Randolph, and just a whole shopping list of allergens. Mold was moderate yesterday. It'd be interesting to see the mountain cedar count when the updated reading comes out in about half hour, 45 minutes or so. What those winds did, the northerly winds, whether they got the last little shake out of those trees or not. So cloudy and breezy this morning with cold temperatures. It's going to stay chilly today, upper 50s, with a lot of some high clouds hanging around here. And still some sunshine thrown in. Then tomorrow we get down to freezing again. Sunny, good looking day tomorrow, mid 60s. Clouds come back in on Sunday, and then big heat up and a couple of showers to start off the week, then some showers and a big cool down by midweek. Get it all sorted out in a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos, Anything big going on, sir?
You know, there was, while you were talking, Mike, there were some flashing lights here off of 35 at Nogalitos. So it looks like those flashing lights have since gone down and traffic is now actually moving through that spot without any issues. Our friends at TransGuide showing us, though, that there's still a little bit more of a buildup there. That's because there was a stalled vehicle that was causing a little bit of a slowdown for drivers in the southbound lanes of 35 right there at US 90. Now, we have been watching that for a little while now, but I saw on the San Antonio Fire page, I was listed as an actual vehicle fire. So hopefully the driver's okay and the car's okay. But right now it does look like traffic is still coming to a little bit of a slowdown there in the southbound lanes of 35. So just be prepared for that. But that could be resolving pretty soon. Let's get a wider look at the map right now as we're getting closer and closer to that time when we're going to start seeing a lot more folks out there. The good news is we're in great shape. As you head out the door, you're not going to encounter any big delays, but we know that will change in the next few minutes or so. But right now, if you're traveling into San Antonio, you're also in great shape. No delays just yet. 28 minutes there from Pleasanton. Everywhere else looks like it's actually pretty great. 24 minutes on I-10 coming in from Bernie. So not really concerned about those travel times into the San Antonio area just yet, but it's still been a quiet morning. Of course, we know things can change at the drop of a hat. We'll keep a close eye on the roads, but be sure to do the same. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio Fire Department investigating a suspicious fire at a commercial building on the city's northeast side.
Jonathan Cotto joins us live from the scene. Jonathan, what's the latest out there?
Good morning, Mark. Well, things got pretty intense for San Antonio Fire Department here last night. They were out here earlier this morning, keeping an eye out for hot spots, and it hasn't ended. The hard work has not ended. Another fire engine is here again this morning, just arriving. I was able to take a look around the corner. Smoke is starting to come out again from the scene. They are taking a look at that right now. But let's take a look at what that scene looked like earlier this morning. We know fire crews arrived close to 10 o'clock last night to this commercial facility located on Old O'Connor Road. That's near Weidner and Lookout Roads. Firefighters tell us they were met with a number of challenges as they attempted to gain control of the fire involving a series of metal buildings that are all connected.
Immediately asked for a second alarm due to the high wind. We are under a red flag warning today with these high winds, the cold front moving in. They were concerned about it spreading to a neighboring business here as well as potentially to the neighborhoods across the street.
Now, it's important to mention that red flag warning has been canceled. Another challenge the firefighters were met with was getting water. And that's because the location of the fire is far from the main road. But the good news here is firefighters were able to keep that fire from spreading, eventually gaining control of the flames. Mark, Stephanie, we've learned investigators are speaking with someone who may have information as to who or what started the fire here. And again, this fire engine just arriving seconds ago. We've seen smoke starting to come up again from the scene. We'll let you know how this case unfolds. Reporting live from the city's northeast side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Also new this morning, an arrest made in a robbery case at a local Best Buy store. 24-year-old Oliverio Rogel is charged with aggravated robbery. Happened back on December 29th. According to an arrest affidavit, a store employee noticed Rogel putting merchandise into a backpack. When the employee confronted Rogel, police say he pulled out a large knife and started yelling. Rogel ran out of the store with the merchandise. All of this was caught on surveillance video, which helped lead to his arrest. Police say Rogel claimed to have PTSD during the robbery.
And police want you to take a look at this picture. This is 15-year-old Angelina Medina, and she is missing. She was last seen Wednesday on Merida Street. That's near Martinez Park on the city's west side. She is 4'9" and has a septum piercing. If you have any information that could help police find her, you are asked to call SAPD's Missing Persons Unit at 210-207-7660. And Lena Kill is still missing. However, many remain hopeful that she will be found, and the reward for information that could lead to her is increasing. San Antonio Crime Stoppers, along with the Islamic Center of San Antonio, are offering a combined $170,000 for any information into her disappearance. She was last seen at a playground at her apartment complex off of Fredericksburg Road back on December 20th. If you know anything about this missing child, you are asked to call the number on your screen, and that's 210-224-STOP.
Now for a look at the latest COVID numbers here in Bexar County. Metro Health reporting 404 new cases. 10 deaths have now been confirmed. Those are the latest numbers. Right now, 553 COVID patients in local hospitals. 155 are in ICU and 83 are listed as being on ventilators. New COVID-19 cases continue to fall in the U.S. overall. That's the good news, but a so-called stealth Omicron subvariant may be spreading. CNN's Britt Conway breaks down what we know right now about how fast it spreads and how severe it might be.
They're going way down.
Nationwide, new COVID-19 cases, overall hospitalizations and deaths all going down. But
we want to pull back and say we're done. Well, you know, the virus may not be done with us.
Case in point, BA2, a subvariant of Omicron. It appears to be about 30% to 50% more contagious than Omicron, and it's been detected in 74 countries and 47 U.S. states. The World Health Organization says the prevalence of BA2 appears to be increasing, both in countries experiencing a decline in Omicron cases and in countries that are in the growing phase of the wave.
It is showing some kind of level of transmission advantage.
Japanese researchers say this subvariant needs to be more closely monitored. Based on lab experiments yet to be peer-reviewed, they say it spreads faster and might cause more severe disease than Omicron. But severity in the real world is a different story. BA2 has gained a foothold in South Africa and the UK, and hospitalizations continue to decline. But in Denmark, where it's also the leading cause of infections, the WHO says hospitalizations and deaths are rising. The good news, we have the tools to fight the spread.
The things that we're doing to really protect ourselves, the vaccination, the other protective measures, are beating back the worst effects of Omicron.
But you have to be prepared to re-mitigate again if you see a rebound coming up.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
In Washington, the Senate passed a resolution last night condemning Russia's aggressive actions toward Ukraine. It was a symbolic move after a binding sanctions bill failed. It shows Congress has a somewhat unified message for Russia, but the fact the sanctions bill did not advance shows the division among Republicans and Democrats. They could not agree on whether to impose sanctions before a Russian invasion of Ukraine. President Biden has warned an attack could come in days.
Testimony continues in the federal trial of 3 former officers charged with violating the civil rights of George Floyd. During testimony, a former Minneapolis police officer was asked about a joke made by Derek Chauvin while he was restraining Floyd. J. Alexander King told the jury that he and Chauvin responded to an incident days earlier at a hospital involving a patient who was restrained and yelling that he could not breathe. King called it a, quote, brief moment of levity, end quote. King, Tou Thao, and Thomas Lane, all charged with deprivation of rights under the color of law. The 3 have pleaded not guilty to the federal charges.
Today is sentencing day for the former Minnesota police officer seen on video using her gun instead of her taser, killing Daunte Wright. The case a flashpoint in the debate over police training and accountability. ABC's Mona Kassar Abdi reports.
This morning, Kim Potter, the former police officer who shot Daunte Wright during this traffic stop last April, saying she mistook her gun for her taser, will learn her fate.
We, the jury on the charge of manslaughter in the first degree, find the defendant guilty.
A jury in December found Potter guilty of first and second degree manslaughter in the 20-year-old's death.
I'm sorry it happened. I didn't want to hurt anybody.
Her emotion seen on this body camera video moments after the shooting. Today, the Minnesota Attorney General's office is seeking a 7-year prison sentence, less than half the 15-year maximum in the state for first-degree manslaughter. In a court filing, the Attorney General writing, quote, Daunte Wright and his life must be held in the highest regard. The presumptive sentence reflects the culpability of the defendant's recklessness in causing Daunte Wright's death. But Potter's attorneys want a reduced sentence or probation, citing her track record on the force, lack of a criminal record, and remorse. The prosecution writing, if the judge is inclined to give a reduced sentence, Potter should spend a minimum of 1 year behind bars, followed by 10 years of probation. In court today, Potter is expected to reiterate how sorry she is and again apologize to Wright's family, members of whom are expected to give impact statements before the sentencing. Mona Kassar Abdi, ABC News, New York.
Time check 6:40, still about 35 degrees.
And when it comes to alcoholic beverages, millennials seem to be drinking less wine, opting for other kinds of drinks instead. Ahead on GMSA, we're going to show you how one local winery is adapting to meet consumer demands. welcome back. It's 6:43. Today is National Drink Wine Day. Ta-da. And millennials, however, are drinking less wine.
Instead of popping open a bottle of wine, they tend to pour a pint of craft beer, crack a seltzer, even shake up a cocktail. It's the latest data to come out of the 2022 State of the Wine Industry Report. Sarah Costa spoke with a millennial who visits breweries all over the country about why this may be.
Sarah also visited a local vineyard that believes Texas wineries may have an advantage with the millennial consumer.
Pop, pour, and sip. It's something wine drinkers have been doing for centuries, but now the billion-dollar industry is worried because the people doing the majority of the sipping are baby boomers, not millennials. The annual State of the Wine Industry Report outlined this concern, pointing out that if this trend continues, sales of American wine could plummet by 20% in the next decade.
So part of wine's problem is that it kind of has this air of snobbiness about it, right? Like you have to know all the fancy terms.
Adiana McFarland is a millennial who has become a craft beer connoisseur. The former nightlife reporter for the Austin American-Statesman is currently traveling the country with her husband and stops at breweries along the way. All of this documented on her social media. She believes millennials are more attracted to craft beer over wine because the craft beer industry is more approachable, but mainly because of price.
I graduated the year of the Great Recession. I think we're just kind of more conscious of where our money's going, and getting a really, really good craft beer is just so much easier to do than getting a really, really good bottle of wine.
Texas is number 2 when it comes to wine travel destinations in the U.S. behind Napa, California. So will this daunting trend impact the blooming Texas wine industry? Co-founder of Coleman Cellars in Stonewall, Texas says he isn't worried.
I actually feel really good because I don't aspire for us to be a 10 million case winery.
According to the report, millennials like a sense of community or connection to local products. It's why Coleman Cellars believe Texas wineries may have an advantage.
As wine becomes increasingly local, we have this great opportunity to shed those old rituals that are almost mystic in their opacity, and instead that we can create these new traditions.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
Time check, 6:46, people.
And at last check of the roads this Friday morning, it looked all right. Let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos.
It's pretty good, and I have to say I love that story from Sarah Costa. She's so lucky, and I love my wine, but right now this morning I love my coffee even more. So yeah, so coffee for me this morning, and if you have to head out the door and grab your cup of coffee, no delays just yet. 35 at St. Mary's. Things have been moving pretty easily and smoothly through a lot of these shots at TransGap, but you can see traffic really picking up here off of I-10 West at Loop 1604. Be on the lookout, though. A crash was reported here off State Highway 151 westbound at Loop 410. Does look like it's cleared out, but we'll watch it closely. Drive over here. We had that stall off 35 southbound at US 90 that was causing a slight slowdown for drivers. So we'll have that listed here because I did see some flashing lights out off 35. So we'll find out what's going on there. But overall, morning we're looking like in great shape, especially now that we are in morning rush. Just remember to take it easy because we want to make sure that you can get to where you need to be on time, but more importantly, safely. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, and looking forward to a crazy weather weekend.
Yeah, the weekend's going to be nice. Today, beautiful. Tomorrow, very, very beautiful. More clouds on Sunday. And speaking of beautiful, great shot there. Sunset and the neighbor's cows. And a beautiful landscape out there. Oh, that's gorgeous. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. Got some clouds hanging around here. Obviously, a few holes here and there. And actually, this cloud cover acted like a bit of a blanket this morning and kept us from getting as cold as what we could have gotten. But then, of course, we've got the wind chill to deal with right now. So down in the 20s, even some teens. 31 Castroville, 27 is the wind chill Bulverde, as well as New Braunfels. And the humidity dew points, of course, are bone dry with that front that moved through yesterday. Of course, we had the humidity yesterday morning, and then the dry line moved on in, humidity dropped off, and then the cold air, of course, followed that. And those numbers are about, just compared to this time yesterday, when it started to get some drier air. Obviously, it's not as much below what it was out in the hill country because the dry line already moved through, but 30 to 40 degrees lower than where we were at this time, right before that dry line moved on through. There's some of the clouds that are hanging around here. Got some clear skies out there in the hill country, but then there's a lot of high level moisture that's sliding on in here, and that's going to keep sort of a milky shade to the sky throughout the day. Other than that, there's not much upstream from us. A lot going on up there in the northern part of the United States, and some really cold temperatures all around most of the country except the Atlantic seaboard and down there around Florida. But 3 below at International Falls, although that has warmed up, believe it or not, from where it was just the past couple of days. So we've got this front that moved on through here, but then we've got a little bit of the kind of the flow coming in out of the southwest upstairs in the atmosphere, and that's keeping some of that high level moisture around, and so that's why we'll have kind of that, now, like I said, milky shade of the sky, a little veiled sunshine here and there. We'll see more sunshine though tomorrow. Then that low starts to move in here from the west, but it's not, it'll throw some moisture in. It's not going to do a heck of a lot as far as any rain chances Sunday. Monday, slight bit of a rain chance, not much at all. And then, however, with this southwesterly flow, we're really going to be warming up, or I should say just plain old heating up. 80s Monday, Tuesday. Then this next trough is going to drag a front through here, and that's going to be during the day or overnight Tuesday into Wednesday, and that'll cool us back down. So it's just going to go from up and down one extreme to another. 50, partly cloudy skies today at noon. A lot of high clouds out there, 58 high temperature. Jacket's a pretty good idea. It's going to cool off quickly again tonight, down to 32 tomorrow. No wind to deal with. A lot of sunshine tomorrow. Good looking day, best looking day of the weekend. Still nice on Sunday, but a lot more clouds around here. And then 80s Monday and Tuesday, humidity to go right along with it. But the front moves through early Wednesday, so we'll drop temperatures down throughout the day on Wednesday with cloudy skies and a couple of showers.
That's almost funny. 80 to 40.
I know. 40-degree temperature drop.
Wow.
From Tuesday afternoon to Wednesday afternoon.
Those are almost like speed limits driving out into West Texas. Start out in the 50s and 60s, and then you're like, hey, we could go 82. All right, 6:50 right now on your Friday morning, about 35 degrees.
And coming up tomorrow on GMSA, it's matchmaking for our modern times. We're going to show you how science plays a part in pairing people with their best friend.
Let's go outside with a live cam right now. Good luck to DeJounte Murray at the NBA All-Star Game. We'll be right back.
San Antonio Fire Department investigating a fire at this commercial facility on the city's northeast side. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Cotto. We know crews have been out here all morning long, keeping an eye out for any potential hot spots. This is what we know right now. Fire crews responded close to 10 o'clock last night to this commercial facility located on Old O'Connor Road. That's near Weidner and Lookout Roads. Firefighters tell us they were met with a number of challenges as they attempted to gain control of the fire, involving a series of metal buildings that are all connected. Another challenge was getting water. That's because the location of the fire is far from the main road. But the good news here is firefighters were able to keep that fire from spreading to a nearby business and a neighborhood across the street, eventually gaining control of the flames. We've learned fire investigators are speaking with someone who may have possible information about this fire. This fire remains under investigation. We'll update you as more information becomes available. Reporting from the city's northeast side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. Let's get a look at the roadway. 1604. We're seeing some slowdowns out there. Same situation we saw yesterday morning, but that was due to a crash. Haven't spotted anything like that in this spot just yet, but we'll watch it closely. Be on the lookout. Stall over here at State Highway 151 westbound, but as we get a bird's eye view of the map, looks like we're in good shape, but seeing that slowdown in those eastbound lanes of 1604. So that's the same location that we saw that slowdown yesterday, but we're going to continue to watch the roads closely. But right now, looks like things are coming to a little bit of a slowdown there off 1604, Mike.
Not good news on a Friday morning. Thank you, sir. And we do have some of those mid-high level clouds hanging around here, and it's pretty cold. We are now at 34 degrees out there at the airport, 32 Bulverde, Rio Medina, 20s Hill Country, and of course, we still have the wind to deal with. So wind chills are well down into the 20s. Bundle up, and it's not going to be any heat wave today. 50 at noon, 58 high temperature. A lot of high clouds hanging around here. Beautiful day tomorrow after a very cold start. Clouds increase Sunday, hot and humid. I can't believe I'm saying that right now. Monday and Tuesday, and then another cold front midweek next week.
Have a good long holiday weekend, folks, especially if you're off on Monday. I know not all schools are closed, but most are.
Some are, yeah. And enjoy this interesting weather. We'll see you back here at 9.